I, I can understand why one might be opposed to the federal government's handling of healthcare and the advocacy of private over a public plan, and why one might be opposed to the to Obama's healthcare plan. But there comes a time where you have to have some decency in your argument. I've heard arguments pro and con against the healthcare bill. Heard a lot of rhetoric in the process, but you gotta have decency after a while. For example, today, Rush Limbaugh, Michelle Malkin, and Beck all attacked an 11-year-old young man who had lost his lost his mother, sadly, and because she had no health insurance, she could not afford it, and she had lost her job in the process. She's a very hardworking woman who wanted the best for her son, and this is a very sad story. My condolences out to the family. But I can understand why Mr. Limbaugh would be against a plan from a conservative base, but these three just dehumanized themselves with some of these statements. It's like I'm getting the impression that they're becoming a party of blame the victim. It's like you would at least, if you're against the plan, you would at least offer your condolences to the family, but then I can understand why you would put up an argument on how we can make healthcare better, but have disagreements, because we're entitled to disagree. But it's just scary, some of these tactics that these neoconservatives use. It's like the kid's mother died. How could anybody respond the way those three did after an 11-year-old who lost his mother? Anyway, and there was a there was a healthcare tea party today on the marble steps of the Capitol, calling to block Congress's healthcare plan and to try and kill the bill. But once again, my condolences out to the young man's family, and I would urge Mr. Limbaugh, Michelle Malkin, and Beck to offer an apology to the young man for their unacceptable actions that I think it's safe to say would dehumanize themselves whatsoever. Have a good night.